Time being 7 o'clock, my apologies for the technical delays, as well as the weather delays, as well as other numerous delays for tonight. It's now 7 o'clock. Let me read the agenda. Master Plan Committee, September 13, 2023. This meeting will be held at the Municipal Building, 3rd floor, training room at 355 East Central Street, 6:30 p.m., now 7. A note to residents, all citizens are welcome to attend public board and committee meetings in person. The meetings will also be live streamed by Franklin TV and shown on Comcast Channel 11 and Verizon Channel 29. Recordings of meetings are available on Franklin TV's Franklin Town Hall TV YouTube channel. Additionally, in an effort to maximize citizen engagement opportunities, citizens will be able to continue to participate remotely via phone or Zoom. The link to access tonight's 2023 subcommittee meeting link is listed below. You can copy and paste into URL. Call-in phone number is 1-929-205-6099, and that's your meeting ID 810-8720-0199, and then press pound. Now I know, Amy, you have to be out by 8:10. We shouldn't actually even take much more time than an hour tonight, because tonight we're going over just a few basic things in preparation for our 27th meeting, as well as in preparation for the Harvest Festival. The first thing on our agenda tonight is subcommittee updates. Some emails are going around asking each individual chair to set up their next subcommittee meetings. So with that being said, I'm going to take it to the chairs for a quick update. Ken, with housing?
I've got some work to do on it.
Okay, no worries. If you could just shoot an email to Amy when you think that meeting will be set up, and then we'll post it on the calendar. Kobe, Community Services.
Yeah, so Community Services, after much deliberation, will be meeting in the 5 to 6:30 time slot for every one of these meetings.
Okay.
So our next meeting, which I believe is 2 weeks from now,
27th.
27th,
Yeah.
we will be meeting before then.
Cool.
So we will have an extra fatigued Community Service Facilities Subcommittee.
Well, whatever works for everybody, as it was stated before, how everyone can work out their schedules to make these subcommittees meet, it is flexible. So that's completely understandable. Okay, Janelle Lang, who is away, so I'll get an update from her later. She's currently in Amsterdam doing a tour of a museum and facilities in preparation for her job. She texted me earlier, she won't be able to make it tonight. Gino, sustainability?
Yes, sustainability is scheduled to meet next Monday, the 18th. Last time we went through a whole list of sustainability issues, and I hope to start organizing them at this meeting.
Okay. And I did see that email go through earlier. So that's the 18th for sustainability. And that leaves us with Megan.
Yep, so looking at your availability for the 26th.
26th.
Sorry, it's the Tuesday,
Nope, that's a valid question. Let me bring up
looking at 7 p.m.
my calendar, and I will let you know right this minute, so we can get that on the
lock it in, and I'll
calendar.
send everything to Amy.
26th. I'm sorry, the Bruins are on. I
Oh,
can't make it.
man.
I'm kidding.
What if we put them on in the background?
No, I'm just kidding. 26th should work. So what
Okay.
time were you thinking?
7 p.m.
7 p.m.
And then we'll get the agenda and all that over to Amy.
Perfect.
That We're going to be swapping over to talking about natural, cultural, and historic resources for the time being. The open space and recreation plan, we've not heard back from the state yet for feedback on that, so that's not being presented to town council for approval until we hear back from the state. So we want to wait till that's finalized, if there's any changes in it, before we move things over into the master plan. So we'll shift gears for now, focus on that, and then come back to open space and recreation when we are further along with that with the state.
No, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to it in two ways. One is continuing on with the subcommittee objectives and kind of working through all that, as well as hearing the open space report.
Yes, which will be good.
Which
I
is
do also
exciting.
have lined up, I think Derek Adams is going to join us either this next meeting or the meeting after, because we talked about being Tree City USA, and some tree legacy programs. So he was gonna give us an update on what they're doing and what, you know, we might want to include in the master plan around that, so.
When that is available, can you post it to the cloud on our master plan committee?
The
So that everyone has a copy of
OSRP,
it?
the actual
Yeah.
OSRP plan, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, the PowerPoint,
Yep.
the one that's available. Just so everyone has kind of a template to go off of. I hate to say it, you guys are being used as the example for pretty much everything we're gonna be doing here. So no stress, no burden
No,
on me,
all good,
guys.
all good.
But you've done such a great job with that. Open
There's no
Space
need to
and-
recreate the wheel if
and,
something's
Breaker
going well, yeah.
And the rest of the crew done such a wonderful job. I'm really looking forward to that at the council level too. It'll give us
Absolutely.
something to stand on going forward, the master plan, so that when we are at the council this time in August next year, we'll be making a similar except full presentation on behalf of the master plan with the results of our objectives.
Excellent.
All right, with that being said, one of the points I wanted to make in regards to the subcommittees, when everyone meets again, Amy, you want to kind of give everyone an outline of what we talked about earlier in regards to what everyone's focus is going to be and what information they're going to be getting from Bader and Barrett?
Sure. So I think mainly now you're kind of going back to the 2013 and the 2020 plan to review what the objectives and goals were, and kind of outline what your committee feels the responsibilities, what you need to look into. At our next meeting, we're gonna have the results of the interviews, which is really important that our consultants did. So that's gonna give us a lot of feedback. Also, we're gonna come out with a survey. I'm hoping to have a draft at the next meeting. So before we kind of jump really fast to setting goals, I think we need the survey results, we need the results from our consultants as well. So I think kind of like Gino said, finding the issues, finding previous objectives, finding what you think is working and what's not working before we jump to any goals. Or could goals actually on our plan doesn't come out, our timeline comes in like February for that. We have to really do all the work in the background before we get to that point. But it's great that I think all these subcommittees are setting their dates and they're getting together and they're coming up with ideas and just focusing on, you know, it's not just one part. I know each subcommittee has several different elements within their one element. So it's just kind of making a list and kind of bullet pointing everything within those elements of what the ideas that, you know, you guys think can work or not work.
So just by way of example, in regards to what Amy's referring to and in regards to the objectives of each individual subcommittee, one of the things we did at the Open Space Recreation Historical Cultural Subcommittees was kind of go into the objectives, review the objectives, and then ultimately go back to the 2013 version. So if you look on the board, I have the 2013 master plan, as well as there was an update on the 2020 version.
It's right there.
Oh,
It's
there
right
it
above
is,
there.
2020 updates. So, any and all information, much of that information can be found directly on the town's website. So if you have any specific questions in regards to previous information on the 2013 master plan, or even objectives that might have been met, you can go to the 2013-2020 implementation portion. This is it here from September 9th, talking about many of the goals and objectives that were discussed there too. Ultimately, what we're really starting to get on each subcommittee is to go through each of the objectives, look at the objectives, discern whether there is an objective listed there that has already been met, and that can just simply be scratched off. If it's an objective that we think is worthy of staying and continuing on to the into the 2023, the 2033 update. And then, of course, if there are objectives that we want to add, we're going to hold off adding any new objectives until we get the feedback from Bader and Barrett, as well as the survey, which won't be until at least the next meeting, and more data will come in the fall. So it's really just kind of going back, looking at the objectives, picking out what has been done, kind of leaving those empty to be filled in later on, and then reviewing them and seeing if something that's we want to keep it, tweak it, and then ultimately take the feedback. My quick question, and I think this was Kobe, you had requested visiting a few locations. Did you get any feedback on visiting sites and taking?
The committee wants to, the committee members would like to. We're looking to agree on a date, so then we can reach out and see if that works for the people that we want to visit. That's the hope.
Perfect. All right. With that being said. All right. Any other subcommittee updates before I move on? All right, number 2, marketing communications. One of the discussions that came up in our last meeting was the Harvest Festival, our marketing communications logo, tagline, and flyer. Amy, you want to segue into that?
Yeah, well, I mean, thank you, Erin. She's the one who, she sent it
Yeah.
out today. Hopefully all of you, saw, ideas for the logo, ideas for the announcement of the Harvest Festival, as well as, kind of need to also come out maybe like with a one-page handout at the Harvest Festival. It might include like our vision statement. It would include the scan code that we have here. So I think some ideas that we were thinking of, comment boards, maybe getting the 24 by 36 whiteboards, and we have some Sharpies, and you have, and this is totally up to the committee, you might have something like, what do I like about Franklin, or what don't I like about Franklin, with a couple of the boards. I also think that we should have an email sign-up list there. I know that Jen had brought up at the last meeting about offering gift cards, kind of as rewards. This committee can, if they sign up, you could do, if you sign up your email, you'd be entered to win a $50 gift certificate. If someone wants to put forward or get a business to donate a $50 gift certificate or 25 or whatever it is, that is an option for this board. For this committee to do that at the Harvest Festival. But I think definitely having a clipboard, trying to collect email addresses to add to our public outreach spreadsheet is a good option as well.
I know a question came up at the last meeting on incentivizing. We were going to touch base with Mark. Did we get any feedback?
I did. No, I did speak to Mark about this.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
As a committee, it's we don't have the funding to purchase the gift card, but if there's somebody or a business or someone who wants to donate it to collect email addresses, that's completely okay.
Cool. We just can't give out $1,000 checks. Certainly won't do that. So as far as the logo, tagline, and flyer is concerned, I threw up on the board some of the draft imagery, if you wanted to take a peek. What does everyone think of the tagline? Form Franklin Future. Nice little QR code. See if I can scroll through it up here. Take you back to the beginning. I think one of the things that I'd like to see, I think it's nicely done, is a little bit more color. Everyone kind of agree with me on that one a little bit? Maybe add a little more color to
I
this.
respectfully disagree, Glenn.
I'm sorry? Say again?
Sorry. I said I actually disagree. I feel like the very simple, like, blue kind of color palette backdrop that Erin's developed is actually really great and will help the content shine personally.
Everyone kind of in agreement with that? Or did anyone want to give their feedback?
I mean, I think what we had talked about at the last meeting was having, I know that there's the committee going forward to actually put together colors and fonts, et cetera, for the town, but I think this aligns with looking at the Franklin Public Schools colors. It makes me think of Franklin color-wise when I look at it, so I like it.
I like that you can just read it quickly, and you just look at it and you know what it says, and then you can, I like how Erin's put all this together. In the flyer, there's like the poster for the Harvest Festival to get people to go. There's 2 versions there.
Mhm.
I think it would be good for people to look at those 2 and figure out which one they like better. And then we can work on the flyer to hand out
Mm-hmm.
there, and we can, that can have more color. That, it'll have the logo, but then like maybe it'll have pictures, or maybe it will
Mhm.
have the mission statement, and, you know, but I like how simple, like you can read it right away, and then you can either come to the Harvest Festival, and you can scan the code, and it's,
Yeah, so all of these that you're scanning, like scrolling through right now, like I wanted to like kind of show some of the different color combination options, but can be pulled off, dropped onto, you know, whether it's the theme colors of PowerPoint slides, what else do we need? Like sort of postcard size handouts, like whatever it is that we're trying to call attention to. There's a way to modify all of these to make them fit. Yeah, like what Meg said, I know that on the last meeting, folks were talking about kind of emulating sort of the Franklin Public Schools colors, pulling in the blue, and so that's why I went with this palette.
No, it does look
So-
black up here, but that is.
Yeah,
exactly
it's like a navy. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
coming off as more black on the screen there, but anyway, so you know, kind of my questions had been like once you know any feedback or adjustments come in, the different sizes and shapes that you would want to see for material. So these are just like simple graphic shapes that I can change. Then the flyer versions were more of a poster size in their dimensions when I made them, but again, they can be like modified to whatever our needs are in a specific instance.
like for the Harvest Festival, you want to have a handout, right, with like a card size, right, with a form Franklin's future, and then the QR code on the back or whatever.
Yeah,
just so
and
that
whether
we
it's like
know
a
right
half
away.
sheet
Yeah.
or a, you know, like whatever it might be that.
I know that the high school is typically Carolina blue. I don't know about maybe fading the navy blue out a little bit to get closer to a Carolina blue, because I know that's more, I do think like some of the other schools.
Yeah, it's a little brighter. The Franklin High School is a little bit of a brighter blue,
Yeah,
There are different ones on here that have that brighter blue, right?
a little bit. Yeah, they come into a lighter. Yeah,
Just look at Franklin High School and Google it.
yeah. I put the brighter blue in initially, and personally,
No, not that.
it wasn't my favorite, so I moved off of it. But that's not to say that my opinion is the universal here.
We don't have to necessarily coincide with.
No, and like we don't
But
want
it's
it
the
to
same
think.
color
Yeah,
palette.
yeah. I think that as long as the palette is like similar-ish, it's more Franklin-y as blue, right? But like I don't know that we need to like
Fire
Blue
engine.
and
match
white
ourselves
and
identical.
Black is like.
Yeah,
That's the academic
Yeah.
one, and that's the athletic one.
I like that one.
I like the geometric shape to it. That adds something to it. I like more of a contrast, having a dark color and a lighter color as opposed to like a
which we
dark-
have on a couple of them.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah,
exactly. I thought
Yep.
those ones make
Can
it
you go
pop
to
a
the
little bit
other
more.
one?
Yep.
Like there's this
Um,
one that has the visit the master plan, so if you go to the next one. There we go, so then it has all that, but then it has this.
Yeah.
Well, and so while
Those-
like this is like very ink heavy if you're printing these as color handouts, right? But I think I would leave the dark on a large poster and then change it for a handout.
Yeah, 'cause
That would be
also
my personal.
Business card sizes as well,
Hmm.
Yeah,
just the QR code too.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what, I can see this on one side,
Right.
of the card and then the scan on the other
Right.
side.
Exactly.
And then, and even like this, saying that Erin put on it, you know, your participation is crucial, right? So we need.
And I
everybody
think
to-
too that the surveys were what we were talking about incentivizing at the last meeting.
Yeah.
So if we land on that's something that we're going to pursue, we can
We can
then
send QR
include
code
that
to
once we
you,
have the
right.
surveys, once we have surveys out and we're giving out that kind of, call to action, we can include that incentive there too.
I think it's also really playful to have the cursive in like this 1950s kind of cursive that's saying scan here, you know, where that's kind of fun.
Amy?
Jen has her hand up.
Oh.
Was that from your last comment,
Jen?
or did you want to speak?
No, that was, thanks, Amy. That was about the check question about the incentives, 'cause I think that's awesome, that we can solicit, see if businesses would want to donate gift cards. I guess my question related to that is, whose responsibility is that to solicit the gift cards? And if it is our responsibility, we should probably delegate that task. One thought I have with all of this is, would we think about putting together like either getting multiple gift cards and saying you could win one of multiple gift cards from local businesses, and list who those businesses are, use it as an opportunity to also engage those businesses and maybe see if they would be willing to put out one of these flyers as, hey, you could win a gift card to our own business if you participate in the survey. Or would we want to put together like one kind of big gift basket with donated items from multiple businesses? Those are just a couple of thoughts. So my first question is about who's responsible. Second question is timeline for that. And then third question to the broader group is, what do we think is the best strategy for what would appeal to the widest audience?
You want me to take that on?
Sure.
Thanks, Jen, for the comment. So, as far as a gift card, first I was just thinking of the Harvest Festival to get people to load up emails for that. If you want to do one for the survey, that'll be completely separate. We have a little bit more time to plan for that because the Harvest Festival's in
2 weeks.
2 weeks. So it will become responsibility of this committee to get the gift cards, to go solicit the businesses or talk with the businesses about that donation. So it is up to the committee members here to put that together. So there's two parts. One, if you want to put something together for the Harvest Festival, if you don't think you have enough time, you could hold off and then try to do multiple gift cards for when the survey goes out. So those are both your ideas. One other thing, not to get off track of the logo, for the Harvest Festival, I think that there should be a sign-up genius for whoever is going to work the booth. It is a 5-hour day, whether you sign up for 1 or 2 hours at a time, a couple people.
Yep. You just read my mind. That's what I wrote down on
Okay.
my sheet here.
Yeah.
I was gonna put
Yeah.
attendees.
If someone can send out a sign-up genius to, just volunteer, you can bring your kids. They can hang out at the booth too. They can recruit their friends, their friends' parents. So that's something that this committee needs to think of as well.
Okay. So, in regards to Amy's comment, I know it's a little further ahead than our discussion, but I did want to mention, as I mentioned in the email, is that the Harvest Festival itself is a volunteer program. We are going to be one booth of many booths. Hopefully it's not rained out, knock on wood, with all this rain. But if everyone or anyone has the time, or if has some friends who have time, who can take their time out of their busy schedules to come down and help set up the Harvest Festival, that's not just going to be for our booth, but that's going to be actually in general to try to help the people who come down and enjoy that day as vendors. And also, if you do have time to stay for the day, you don't have to stay the whole day. Granted, it's only 5 hours, but I will be there all day, and I would love it if everyone came down at some point during the day to support the master plan committee booth. And I'll even bring candy. Does that sound? Since it's the Harvest Festival.
What's the date of the Harvest
So
Festival?
it's the 30th.
30th.
12 to 5, thank you, Mel. All right, so moving on, in lieu of time, let's just finish up with the logo, tagline, and flyer. Does everyone like the color scheme? And I think I was gonna bring up, Kobe wanted me to bring up the colors of the high school. There you go. So that's, I don't know if everyone, the color actually looks different on here than it does on my computer. But it's a little bit lighter than
That's-
most.
I kinda like these two.
Yeah.
That's my personal opinion.
Can you show them again, please?
That blue
Yeah.
and the light blue.
Yeah, I like
I like
the
that
lighter
too.
blue, sorry.
Yeah. I mean, even if you had to make that
It's one of the options.
a one step up, I mean, if that was too late
Yeah.
to go a little bit,
Those two blues together, you're saying?
yeah.
Yeah.
That's my opinion, but
Yeah.
it's up to the committee.
I can try.
Agreed. Perfect. And one of the things that was discussed earlier with Mel is coming up with some kind of a brochure that we can hand out, or like she said, a flyer. So,
So the mission statement on it.
exactly, my thoughts were the goals and mission statements that we kind of went over.
Like what is the master plan committee?
Exactly.
Like-
That will be our
Like,
grand,
right?
that will be our
It's like,
grandest
we have to tell people
opportunity
what
to
it
throw
does,
out
why
there
we do it,
our
that kind of
first
stuff. Yeah.
official vision and mission statement
Yeah.
that we
Right.
talked about.
How does it affect me? That's what people want to know.
Yeah.
Right, right.
Maybe
Exactly.
like a how can I get involved on there as well.
Yeah.
That can be right at the end.
Yeah.
And that can also have the QR code next to it.
Yeah.
Perfect. So we're just gonna tweak the colors and that, and everyone kind of on board with the general layout and palette and everything else that goes with it. Kobe?
The only thought I had was whether it conjures up the image of, like, if you can read from Form Franklin Future something about this being a visioning document. That was the only thing I tried to play with. Essentially, like having this ladder be an arrow. I don't know if you played with that at all. Something that says
Making it
forward.
an arrow. It can be in a like presentation. To me, the arrow makes me look that way, not down, right? So if you have a poster, I'm not looking down because I look that way on the arrow.
Okay.
It's my personal. But if
That's
we
it.
put it into a presentation and evolved
That's all I
it,
needed to
we
hear
can
it
do
say.
that.
Right.
I shouldn't say anything.
Sorry.
Joe?
I looked that way.
Kind of leaning somewhat with, I wasn't gonna say much, but
Uh-huh.
since Kobe brought it up,
Yeah.
my initial look when I looked at it instantly was fill in the blank. And the two big white squares, like, it looks like a fill in the blank thing. Like, are words missing there, or is it, it just looked like a fill in the blank form.
If it grabs your attention though.
No, but I think by maybe putting arrows, or maybe doing something with those two white squares to make it look like it's not a fill in the blank.
Well, maybe that's a good thing. It kind of implies that you want people to fill in those blanks in forming the future.
That's what I was just gonna say, Gino.
Oh.
I like it.
Just in my opinion.
Strike two. What else you got?
I don't know
No,
anything.
but
All right.
But if we do want people to think about the future and fill in the blanks, right?
Yeah, but that form isn't something people will fill in.
No, but that
I know.
QR
But
code
it's
might be.
right now.
They may be.
Well, Joe,
Yeah.
come on,
All right.
let's just think about it.
Scan the QR code to fill in the
Transform
blanks.
Franklin's fabulous future. Filled it in.
So, I'll send out an email in lieu of getting an attendance sheet tonight to everybody, requesting and getting some feedback as to who can make it to Harvest Festival. Sound fair?
Yeah.
Instead of getting consensus, full consensus tonight, because I know everyone has just as much difficulty getting their schedules planned as I do. So just something to think about for the future. Okay. With that being said, I think we've already covered the logo, the tagline, the flyer. Anyone have any further questions about that? And kind of throw it back to Erin for a few slight adjustments, and Amy and Mel are gonna work on getting some brochure and pamphlet together with the mission.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much, ladies, for doing that hard work. It is much appreciated. All right. We've already covered the Harvest Festival, so that moves us on to line
One
item.
thing, Chair.
I'm sorry?
On the Harvest Festival, just getting back to Jen's comments about an incentive, I don't, whether there is a decision by this group, whether someone should be working in the next 2 weeks to get that incentive or not. I'm more leaning towards no, and I think maybe having an incentive for the survey itself, and filling out the survey itself is better, but I just want to make sure to see what the, you know, given that Jen isn't here, just to make sure that that is fully thought through.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you on that one.
I agree on that too.
Yeah, I think it would be a tough ask within 2 weeks to actually go out and solicit those gift cards.
Great.
And have, you know, something to offer with the gift cards. We still need to almost kind of have to sit down and plan out ultimately what's the goal here with the gift cards, what kind of game are we gonna play to give them the gift cards in order to get the gift cards, and what's the whole,
How many gift cards do we need?
what's the game?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's a valid question too. What are you thinking, 5, 10, 15, 20?
I don't know. First off, I love the idea. I think it's a really great idea to encourage people to do the surveys. I'm really glad Jen brought it up, so thank you, Jen. Thank you, Amy, for figuring it out and that we can actually do it. So I think there's some great work to be done there, but that work should focus maybe for another meeting to talk through on what our strategy is to encourage and incentivize greater participation in the survey itself.
Valid. I agree with you.
I have
General.
Jen.
I'm gonna chime in. Sorry,
Go ahead, Jen.
my hands up. I do also think though, like thinking about the Harvest Fest and thinking about different the Strawberry Stroll, like the email lists that I sign up for are the ones where I could win something. So I do think there's merit in at least having one potential gift available just to get names on a sign up list. I guess my question to this group or Amy is that do we think we're going to get a ton of emails from Harvest Fest, or is our primary goal to create these lists from other sources? I guess what I'm getting at is it really worth it or not for Harvest Fest?
I could reach out to Lisa Piana, through the Franklin Downtown Partnership. And I think that would probably be the best bet to kind of get some feedback from her businesses on gift cards, because if there's anybody who has the pulse on the local downtown businesses, it's Lisa. I think, Eric, in regards to your comment, I don't think we need too many. I was joking when I said 20, but like.
Are we looking for like a generic Visa gift card, or can it be from a business?
No, it'd be great to have it from a local business.
What the Franklin
So
First
if it was
card.
like the Olive store, or if it was, you know, back the fiction store.
Still exists.
Yeah.
One option I might have is Rotary gets gift cards all the time from people, the Rotary Government. And we have a car show scheduled for Saturday. It's most likely gonna be canceled. So we might have some extra gift cards that we already collected that have been donated. So let me check on that.
Okay,
Okay, great.
yeah.
I don't know what the
I think
denominations
Mrs.
are. What are we
Padula-
looking for? 25, 50?
Sir?
What's the denomination we're looking for? Anything?
Doesn't
$10.
matter.
Yeah, I don't think a denomination, a high denomination will make
No.
a difference here at all.
$10 is $10.
And if it's easy to get them, I think it's great. You know, I'm conscious of the timing here, to make it happen.
Yep.
Is the business that donates gonna get any kind of recognition on anything, or is it just a
Amy?
nice to?
Yeah, well, I think when, all right, so I guess kind of getting back to Jen's comments, I think if they can if the committee can come up with like a $50 card for the Harvest Festival and just leave it at 1 to collect the emails, that'd be great. If you can't, you can't. But yes, you would say, sign up your email, you'll win $50 to such and such business. So they would know what the business is that they would be winning the gift card to. You know, you could say donated by them as well. That's fine too, that the businesses donated this and sign it up. And then going back to Eric's comments, for the survey, we have a little bit more time. Hopefully we can get a few more gift cards generated by the time the survey goes out. And maybe, I wouldn't go more than 5. Say 3, at different nominations, to get people to sign up for the survey. And then they would have to give their email as well, which is a good idea, because then they can get also put on our public outreach spreadsheet.
Right.
So,
Valid point. So that's good. 5,
that
so
makes
no
sense.
more than 5, and that's for the survey, and 1 for the Harvest Festival.
yeah,
So-
if it's
Well,
feasible.
If any possible, yeah, I have some ideas as well about how we incentivize the survey. And so maybe just tee that up for another meeting to.
That we can put on the next meeting.
Yep, to fully nail down.
Yep, I'll put that on here right now. So, how to incentivize. Okay. Got it. Perfect. All right, we are doing great tonight. So far, so good. So going to agenda item 4, future agenda items. Actually, before I do that, Ken, Bruce, Jen on Zoom, do you guys have any further comments in regards to Harvest Festival or anything else?
None here.
Nope.
Okay,
We lost Bruce.
perfect. Bruce?
We lost
Oh,
him.
we lost Bruce. He must have had technical difficulties. All right, future agenda items, Amy Beta to present results of interviews at the September 27th meeting.
Yes, so, Beta, will be present in Barrett. They'll provide the results of the whole interviews, of the list of people that they had. So that will kind of steer them into, more of a direction of kind of starting to draft some of the, inventory stuff. That was the whole point of those interviews. I think at the next meeting, we'll do hopefully have the community survey, at least a draft. May not have a whole lot of time to talk about it if we want to talk more about incentives, and I know maybe finalize stuff on the Harvest Festival, because that's right before the Harvest Festival, but at least get something in your hands to take home and review. The point of the community survey, it's really a very overview. You know, we'll probably have a question on each element. We'll have a question about, you know, where people like to go, what people like about Franklin, what they want to see in Franklin. So it doesn't get into too much detail. When we do the survey, it's really kind of a broad overview. And we like to keep it, you know, under 10 minutes when we do create a survey, because we're going to lose interest after that. One other thing that was not on this agenda, as I just wrap this up, is photos. So I left it over there next to the agenda. So, Beta and Barrett are hoping that when you're out and about, wherever you are in town, take photos with actual maybe people there. You know, whether it's like the back of your kids walking down Delcart Bridge, which is always cute, whether you're standing at the train station, doing a photo at the train station. They just kind of put a list together, but they'd love to just see photos kind of in action around town. I know that there's a lot of different photos out there, but it's nice if the group wants to, and definitely Harvest Festival, but if the group is ever, or even maybe you already have some on your phone right now that you want to share. So there'll be, there's a folder, I gotta check it, but I'll add a folder to the drive, and you can just download your pictures right into our master plan drive.
Perfect. That's awesome. Good. And I love this. So storefronts, downtown, people walking sidewalks, people riding their bikes, train station parking areas, various types of housing, wildlife.
Do we need to get
open space,
permission from
car stands.
people in said photographs to
Before we-
use their photographs?
That's a valid point.
I mean,
Take public photos.
yeah.
In public, it should
All the
not.
parents
They're in
know at
public.
school, we have to do that form.
I know, they're for the
Kids.
schools, but I mean, if they're out in public, people take pictures. And if you look at a lot of the Harvest Fest or Strawberry Stoll pictures, there's 100 people in there. that-
Yeah, I would definitely focus on, like, not like a highlighted one.
Yeah.
Right, just kind of a general,
General, yeah.
open public shot.
Mhm. Yeah.
No, I agree. We definitely need to be careful with,
So you have time for that, but just as the nice weather's still around, over the next few months.
yeah, especially as the
You
leaves
can-
start to change and the fall
Yeah,
starts to come along,
you
things are
know,
really gonna start to look
Before our
super
winter
cool.
months come.
Okay.
Oh, we can
If
get
it ever
winter
stops
pictures
raining,
too.
we
See
can.
if there's any-
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Oh my gosh.
Exactly.
Alright. So, make sure I didn't have anything, one thing I did want to ask in regards to Beta and Barrett, though, being at our next meeting, I know they're gonna cover the items we got listed on the agenda. Will that also give us an opportunity, or should I say, give the subcommittee chairs an opportunity to kind of field any questions they may have specific to their, subject?
Yeah, I think they'll be
A,
available.
will we have time for that, and B, will they be prepared?
I will find out how long the presentation is, and I'll mention that we need to have room for Q and As.
Okay. That would be good, because I
Mhm.
think all of my chairs are gonna have
Sure.
some kind of questions in regards to data, date, timelines, expectations that they expect, feedback from them, and what level of feedback, because I know, they have a task of their own that they're trying to accomplish. We don't want to overburden them with too much, but I do want to give all the chairs from the subcommittees an opportunity to get their questions answered.
Okay.
So if we could do that next meeting, just kind of let them know,
That's
just
fair.
prepare them.
Yeah.
All right. With that, there's nothing else on our agenda. Does anyone have anything else they'd like to add to tonight? In regards
Motion to adjourn.
That's it?
Second.
All right. No, hold on. Hold on. Ken and Jen, you guys have anything you'd like to add before we adjourn the meeting?
No, thanks for asking.
All right. With that, Rick,
Motion to adjourn.
anyone else?
I can hear the rain.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Good job, everybody. Thank you, Franklin TV. I'm glad we got that sorted out.
Yeah, right?
Pouring
Here,
now.
I know, like, I'm not leaving now.